Hi, Roger.
Okay, check, check, check. And we are live. Okay, welcome back, everybody. This is the First Inning Podcast. I'm BX Bomber 2011 along with Roger, the big Yankee fan. Say hello, Roger.
Good evening, BX Bomber. Things are going pretty good here, and we're getting ready for a bit of snow down in this area, and the New York City area is supposed to be getting a bit of snow too. And there's a few things going on with the Yankees, and the Yankees just made a signing recently yesterday.
That's right, man. Yankees are making some big trades finally after all this, but they still haven't signed Machado or Harper. But who we get?
Okay, as of right now, the Yankees have signed a bullpen piece. They have signed Adam Ottavino, and he played for the Colorado Rockies, and I have a little bit of information from Fansided about him. The New York Yankees have gotten their guy. It might not be Manny Machado, but Adam Ottavino is a heck of a prize. The Yankees have reportedly agreed to a 3-year, $27 million deal with the New York native to bring him home. He's from Brooklyn. Last season, Ottavino was a huge part in why the Rockies were able to advance to their first division series in 9 years. 2018 was a career season for Ottavino, and he was able to ride that all the way to the bank. He went 6-4 with a 2.43 earned run average with 6 saves and 112 strikeouts. Ottavino is a seasoned veteran who has spent his entire career in Colorado. Much like Yankee Stadium, that is a hitter-friendly ballpark, so that is an underrated value to bring him to Yankee Stadium. And Ottavino is 33 years old, and he has worked on his slider quite a bit. He came back to New York City and was working in a building in New York. He's a Brooklyn native, and he was working on his slider, and he has basically reinvented himself. In 2017, he didn't have a particularly good year, but he was outstanding last year for the Rockies and had 112 strikeouts in something like 77 or 78 innings, averaging 13 strikeouts per 9 innings, and he was very dominant, especially with his slider. And the Yankees were looking to add him to the bullpen along with Zach Britton, who they've already signed as well. And many feel that the Yankees bullpen will be possibly the best in baseball now with the signing of Ottavino.
Well, that's exactly what they're alleging to say. And guess what? You know what? You can actually compare this bullpen to the 1998 bullpen, because Ottavino is a comparison to Jeff Nelson. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? With the slider
Yes.
and the thing and the curve. So, you know, he was a specialist though. You know, like chess match pieces. But I don't know. It's gonna be pretty interesting, man, to see the Yankees go. But the Yankees do have a good bullpen though.
Oh, yes. Even with the loss of David Robertson, they have Ottavino there. And, the bullpen now consists of Aroldis Chapman, Dylan Betances, Ottavino. They have Chad Green.
Yeah.
They have some lesser bullpen guys like Holder and Tommy Canley as well. And they seem to have a very strong bullpen at
And
this
they have
point in time.
Herman back down there too. Herman is over there.
Right, exactly. They can think of Domingo Herman as possibly coming out of the bullpen or being a spot starter, and so Ottavino looks like a very strong sign. And the Yankees were interested in getting him, and they got him for a decent contract. He'll be getting paid quite well. $27 million for the next 3 years, and he really did reinvent himself working on his pitches. And he did it in the building in New York City and really worked on it and was rather dominating and very strong last year. He had a 36% strikeout rate last year, which
Yeah.
is just behind Dylan Betances and Aroldis Chapman. So they have a lot of big arms coming out of the bullpen as of right now. So that is the latest big move that the Yankees have made. And as far as Manny Machado is concerned, it's been quiet, but Manny Machado's father has spoken up and has said that Manny Machado did receive an official offer from the Yankees. But this is coming from his father, and we don't know if his father is just trying to build up.
I heard it was the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers as well.
Yeah, but you know what? I think he might be waiting for Harper to find out what he. You know what? If Harper signs with the Phillies, that's gonna be one incredible outfield with Manny Machado. That's gonna be a serious team, man. If they can get them all together.
Exactly. The Phillies were really saying that they were going to spend quite a bit of money this off season, and that they were going to be making some moves. That's for sure. And also, as far as the Yankees are concerned, well, the father has said that he did receive an official offer from the Yankees, but the Yankees may also be possibly. There's rumors that the Yankees may be trying to get Nolan Arenado, who is the Colorado Rockies third baseman, and that there's unsubstantiated rumors that Cashman has been speaking to the Rockies about Arenado and may try to trade for him or trade for him during the season. And that's another reason why they may still be lukewarm on Manny Machado, that the Yankees' main target may be Arenado. And Arenado is in his last year with the Rockies and will hit free agency. And they are not sure if the Yankees are in on trying to get Arenado, and that's why they're being lukewarm on Manny Machado. But a lot of those rumors are going on. And also there are talks that the Reds are moving in to try to make a trade with the Yankees as far as Sonny Gray is concerned. So that is another rumor that is going on.
Well, I'll tell you, how about Mets news? Tim Tebow, he's coming back to spring training. How about that?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Excellent. And it would be nice to see him make it in professional baseball. That would be pretty cool, you know. And that would be nice to see for sure.
It would be nice. It would be nice if they put Tim Tebow on the Brooklyn Cyclones. So the New York fans could see him.
You would definitely go there and see him.
Yeah, I would definitely go over there to see him.
Maybe you and I this coming year on one of my trips up to see Yankee games, we could also take a trip down on the subway over to see the Cyclones together as well. That would be fun as well.
Yeah, man, definitely. We could definitely take the train over there and go see a Cyclones game.
Exactly. That sounds like that would be pretty good. And also, the Yankees lineup, even without Manny Machado, looks pretty strong. And I have, according to MLB.com, this would be the Yankees' opening day starting lineup come March. It would be Brett Gardner leading off, followed second by Aaron Judge, followed third by Aaron Hicks, followed fourth by Giancarlo Stanton, followed fifth by Gary Sanchez, followed sixth by Miguel Andujar, followed seventh by Gleyber Torres, but now they have DJ LeMahieu in there, followed eighth by Luke Boyd, and followed ninth by Troy Tulowitzki, but they have added DJ LeMahieu as well. So we'll see where that all goes. If DJ LeMahieu is going to be a super utility player that plays many games all around the field, or if they want him to be the main starting second baseman. But I also don't want to mess up Gleyber Torres either, who is a young stud that is really performing for the Yankees. So I don't know how you feel about that with DJ LeMahieu possibly playing second base the majority of the time.
Well, no, they want LeMahieu to be the utility player. Actually,
I see, a super utility player.
Yeah, because they told. I read a report by MLB.com there saying that the Yankees told LeMahieu to bring a lot of gloves to spring training.
Oh, wow!
So that means he's gonna play everything. He's gonna play third, second, short, first to give these guys a break.
Wow! So he'll be playing many games, and he'll just be in different positions.
Yeah, because he replaced Neil Walker. You understand?
Right,
Neil Walker
right.
was the utility guy. Now it's DJ LeMahieu, and like you say, they're gonna have Troy Tulowitzki on shortstop. So that's basically your thing there, and you have Ellsbury maybe DHing or something. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but he's supposed to play.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. And but those are the latest things going on now. They've added a strong bullpen piece. There are rumors of the Reds possibly the San Francisco Giants might be in talks with the Yankees about Sonny Gray as well. And there is also a little bit of rumors going on that I don't really like the idea of, and that is them trading Andujar for Corey Kluber. And I'm very high on Andujar, and Corey Kluber obviously is one of the elite pitchers in the major leagues, but he is getting older, and I really feel that Andujar could be a strong player for the Yankees for many years to come, and I really don't want to mess with trading him.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Unless they feel, like I said before, they may feel strongly about Hecharia taking over one of those jobs. So we got to look for him.
On Hecharia, he's still out there, and the Yankees have not signed him as of right now. You know, they picked him up on waivers, but we'll see how that all goes as well, because I'm high on Hecharia as well.
Yeah, he's a good player there.
They just have a lot of riches right now. And the Manny Machado thing is being quiet right now, and we're less than a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting to Tampa.
Oh, I have the dates on that if you want to hear it.
What's that?
I have those dates if you want to hear it.
Oh, sure.
Hold on, let me pull them up right now. I believe the first game is February 16th. Let me tell you who's playing. Okay, the first game is February 13th. Astros and Angels report February 13 and 14. Let's see. So does the Athletics, Blue Jays. And the Indians are going to be a little early on the 12th, and Mariners on the 12th, February 12th. They're all reporting. The Orioles on the 13th. Rangers 13th, on the Rays on the 13th. Red Sox, Royals, Tigers on the 13th. Twins on the 13th. White Sox 13th, and the Yankees on the 14th. So pretty much everybody's is between 13 and 14. Those 2 days.
Wow, we're getting close. Holy cow! And opening day for the Yankees is on my birthday, actually. March 28th, and that's my birthday. And that'll be opening day. They're opening at home, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you at the beginning of March. We'll get together, and we'll make our arrangements to get Yankee games for that season. And then my trips up will be in April, July, and September. And once again, I'm going to try to get to 9 games again, and work on all of the scheduling and stuff next month, and work on that so I'm ready when I get up there at the beginning of March. I'm looking forward to seeing you. It's been quite a while, and we'll get together and go to that pizza parlor or something like that, and get our tickets.
We'll do something. Absolutely.
So that'll be a nice day. But otherwise, that's the latest going on with the Yankees.
Wait a minute. Before you say about the Yankees, I don't know if you heard about Hal Steinbrenner complaining about Yankee fans, talking about that he's that he doesn't like how people are talking about the management.
Oh, wow.
And you know I'm the only person that's been talking about management.
Yeah. My goodness. No, a number of people have. Because on our last podcast we talked about how the Yankees' revenues are going quite a bit up, and there's becoming a large gap between the revenues and their player payroll. And many people have been saying that he's been kind of putting that, he and Hank have been putting it in their own pockets, more or less, and not as quick to invest it back into the team the way George was, their father.
Yeah, I know.
So many people have been saying that. But I would think he'd be above that, where he shouldn't. I mean, he's one of the Yankees owners. I think he should be above the petty stuff being said on the internet. You know what I mean?
Well, let me tell you, if somebody from the Yankees is listening, let me tell you, what y'all doing to the people of the city and the Bronx, you're destroying it. Seriously, man, you're destroying the city of the Bronx. I'm telling you right now.
Wow.
Yeah, because you're raising ticket prices, and normal people like me can't even go to the game anymore. You know what I mean? And then we have to deal with overcrowded trains and going home in crazy traffic on a game day. And people have to suffer.
Yeah.
We have to suffer for these baseball games. No, seriously, you know, the people around here, there's no parking from, say if you have to come home at 5 o'clock and there's a game on, there's going to be no parking. The streets are closed off. You can't even get home, you know, and they don't even give us a break, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to sit there and pocket the money? Really? And then what do? You're going to give some stupid money to some charity that nobody even cares about? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. They've been playing us for a long time. I love the team. I always say I love the Yankees. I love the history. I love the boss. But the management sucks. You know, the management sucks.
They take advantage of the community.
They sure are, man, and they have been since this brand new stadium started. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because George Steinbrenner put all his money back in the team. That's why he was able to build a new Yankee stadium. You know what I mean? He did that. You know, and these guys are not doing anything here. You know, across the street, they have that Heritage Field over there. You know what they did with that? They got some bullcrap little league that they made up for the Yankees. You know, the Yankees made up a little summer camp for the kids to play baseball. It's only 2 weeks, Roger. Like really?
Wow.
Like really? It's only 2 weeks, and that's the only thing that goes on in that park. You telling me the Yankees can't have a whole little league there for the whole year? You know, and have baseball going on and for the kids and have them play baseball and do this and that, give away gloves and bats. They don't do that. They don't give away anything. Yeah, they gave away toys to the kids on Christmas. That's it.
But even that was corporate sponsors. You follow what I mean?
Right.
A lot of sponsors.
And that's one thing the Yankees do is never give anything for free. The Yankees never give nothing away for free. Never ever they give anything away for free. When you go to the giveaway, is a company that's giving that away. Budweiser, Canon, whatever it is, you know, they're the ones giving that, not the Yankees.
Right. I see what you mean. And many people, I've heard many and seen many articles about that throughout the years, that the Yankees can somewhat bully that neighborhood a little bit, you know, that they can somewhat be bullies about it, and that people that do live around there do have a hard time because of the tens of thousands of people that come in for the games. And as you were saying, if you're living in that area, it's hard to get around when there's massive amounts of baseball going on there and streets are closed off.
You know
so
something?
I can see where it'd be difficult for the community.
Exactly. And you know what, Roger, this year I'm going to start documenting that to show it in the vlogs. I'm going to make vlogs about that so you can see for yourself on what I go through. And I got a motorcycle, Roger, and it's crazy to get here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Even if I have a motorcycle and it's still hard for me to get here. It's crazy.
Right.
The traffic is unbelievable, man. The police block everything off. All these neighborhoods are blocked off. You can only go one way.
when the Yankee Stadium first opened up, they actually put those police barricades off where they were shuttling everyone into the stadium, and the neighborhood stores and everything were suffering because they had the barricades leading right from the subway and right from the parking lots directly into the Yankee Stadium, with it blocked off where a lot of the neighboring businesses were not getting as much business because the Yankees were shuttling it right into Yankee Stadium. You know, the different restaurants and things around there that they were doing that, but they have since stopped doing that now. So, I mean, Stan Sports Bar does well. Hopefully that pizza parlor that we went to does pretty well. And so they have stopped doing that where they put those barricades up. Anyway,
actually, the diner on the corner. You remember? I put up that picture of the Yankee ground crew with the go-kart, and they drove it to the diner, right? That diner, I forget what it's called, King's Donut or something like that. I think it's called King's Donut over there on 161st there. It went out of business, man, about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. My goodness, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so there's only one diner left across the street, and they're okay. But these were like, it was a good diner though, but you know, it was a nice place to sit down and everything too, but they went out of business.
Oh boy, I'm sorry to hear that. But I do understand. So yeah, you can do some documenting. You could do some good fun things about the Yankees, and then you could also show some criticisms as well. You know, you could do both sides of it this year. And I know we both love the Yankees, but you know, we do know how they can operate sometimes. And,
yeah, I mean, we have to defend the Bronx as well, like they say, right? They have their own hashtag, defend the Bronx. That's what we're gonna have to do as well, you know, against them, which is crazy.
I love the Bronx. Because that is also the home of hip hop. You know, that is where hip hop and rapping began in the early '80s or the late '70s with the block parties and everything that was going on. Hip hop arrived in the South Bronx, and that is the home of it, really. And I think that those communities up there are very good communities. And I realize that the Bronx had major problems in the '80s and the '70s with a lot of buildings being burned down, and the management of the buildings was collecting insurance money, and for a while, good sections of the Bronx looked like a war zone, and it was very rough. And George Steinbrenner was using that as his excuse to move the Yankees out of the Bronx, and you know, where he was talking about a stadium on the west side of Manhattan, or one in New Jersey, where he was going for this new stadium all the time, but eventually he settled on building it right next door in McCombs Dam Park, and there was a lot of controversy about that the Yankees were taking parkland, but I guess they did a decent job by turning the site of the old Yankee Stadium into parkland.
Yeah, they sure did, man. They just basically switched sides, pretty much. You know? One park was the other park, you know. And just to mention a little bit of history of where the new Yankee Stadium stands now. The new Yankee Stadium is actually the historical site of the first New York City Marathon.
Wow.
Believe it or not, that's why they first did the marathon, and they did about, I don't know how many laps around that track they did, but that was the marathon, the first time they ever actually organized it. That was the first organized marathon right there.
Wow, that is interesting history for sure, no doubt about it.
It started from a park track in the Bronx to running the 5 boroughs. Could you imagine?
Wow. Yeah. What is it? 26.9 miles.
26.2.
26.2 miles.
I ran that New York City Marathon 6 times in a row.
Wow.
6 times.
Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And But
It's a great time, man. I think everybody should do it at least one time in their lifetime.
Right,
Run the New York City Marathon.
I might try to walk it maybe one of these days if I get myself in shape, and try to do a walking part of the marathon. It might take me 8 hours or 10 hours, but possibly walk it. That would be something.
It makes you feel like a superstar, like you're the Derek Jeter going down the block there. You know, it's really cool.
Right.
It's a really cool experience, and what's really cool is that the marathon and these races by New York Roadrunners is your only chance and the only time you can actually run with professionals. You know?
Oh yeah.
Because they're in the same race as you, but they're in the front, but you're behind them, but you're in the same race with the professionals. You know? So that's the pretty cool thing, you know, that you're actually a professional with the professionals.
Exactly. And many of the Kenyans dominate the marathons. You know, the Kenyans really dominate the marathons. And many people are saying because in Kenya, with that being the type of country that it is, that running is really how they get around. It's a very poor country, you know.
It sure is.
And that is how they get around, and they are known for being outstanding marathon runners, the Kenyans, for sure.
It's because they live in a high elevation, so it's harder on the lungs. So when they come to New York City, where it's like at sea level, the oxygen for them is much richer for them. So it opens up their lungs, and they just fly down the thing, man. You see, it's all about oxygen, feeding oxygen to the blood. Because when the blood circulates, it circulates with oxygen, and that oxygen feeds your muscles. You see?
Yeah.
And that good oxygen keeps you at that pace to run that, at that speed. So that's, man, but to run at that speed is godly, man. You got to be like superhuman to be at that speed.
Oh, well, they are the world's best. They're world-class athletes, and it is amazing.
And to sustain that pace is, they run like 5-minute miles, 4-something miles, 4-something minute miles. That's fast, man. That's super fast. That's ungodly. I'm telling you, these people are born to do that.
It's incredible. It is incredible, and really, when you think about it, the 4-minute mile was broken not that long ago, really. It was in the 1950s that the 4-minute mile was originally broken. So it is amazing how the athletes keep getting bigger, stronger, faster as the decades go on. Oh, and an interesting thing about Ottavino. Ottavino was quoted as saying that he could strike out Babe Ruth every time he faced him. So he's got a lot of confidence.
Man, talk about Babe Ruth, man. I was watching the 1937 World Series, right? And let me tell you, man, these guys were like, as I look at them, I try to really look at it, and these guys were like real men, real men, yo. And it's amazing how they had to, battle through these feats that they did. I mean, the way they played is unbelievable, man. Like Babe Ruth, he looked like he wasn't even trying.
Right.
Like, like the way he went for ground balls, he just bent over. Like he didn't even the way the ball players look now. He just it was like he was like picking up a pencil off the floor or something like that. Like not even bending his legs or nothing. That's how he was catching ground balls.
For example, like Joe DiMaggio never was seen diving for a ball because he could glide so gracefully and so quickly that he would always glide gracefully and catch the ball. That DiMaggio never was seen diving for a ball, that he actually would glide to the baseball. And Joe DiMaggio obviously came up in 1936 and then lost some time to the World War, but eventually retired in 1951 and lost some time to the World War And I also heard many reports that Joe DiMaggio was not particularly nice to Mickey Mantle when Mickey Mantle came up his rookie season.
Yeah, absolutely.
That Joe DiMaggio did not treat him very well and did not speak to him. And so there's things about Joe DiMaggio as well where he was somewhat of an aloof type of person. But he was always debonair. Whenever he was seen in public, he was always wearing a suit. And of course, Joe DiMaggio married Marilyn Monroe, and then they were only married for a year and got divorced, but they stayed friends. And when Marilyn Monroe passed away in the early '60s, Joe DiMaggio put flowers on her grave every year for her birthday.
Yeah,
and that was an amazing story as well.
And you know something, as I look at these old films, you know, of the World Series and old black and white games that they were doing with Babe Ruth and all that, I was analyzing their swings, right? And as I analyzed their swings, do you know the point of contact has not changed in 100 years?
No, many things of baseball
has not changed.
The same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, their batting stance is different. The way they hold the bat might be different, but either or, any way they did it, it's still the same point of contact where you have the bat in the middle and the eyes are looking at the bat and the knees are bent. You know what I mean? It's that,
exactly.
and the arms are extended with the bat. Everybody has that same swing, you know?
Exactly. A lot of the baseball, that's why it stays the same for 150 years, 160 years. 60 feet, 6 inches from pitcher's mound to home plate, 90 feet to the bases, and a lot of the baseball, I mean, obviously things have changed in the way starting pitchers are used now in comparison to the way they were used in the old days, and some things have changed, but a lot of the grand old game is still the grand old game, and that is one of the things that is endearing about baseball.
Yeah, man, and hopefully it gets better, you know, and I want to do a couple of podcasts talking about different baseball topics. Like I want to talk about things that should be banned from baseball and things that should be put in baseball. I want to do a podcast like that, and you know, talk about other stuff in baseball, and you know, that doesn't have to do with anything.
Yeah.
You know, just general stuff, you know. So that's one I want to do.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, that's one I want to do about that, you know, and let's see what happens, and we could just talk about banning stuff in baseball, what should be put back in baseball. You know what I mean?
A possible rule change that may be coming up in 2019. It's just rumors right now, is that they may come in with a pitch clock. They may actually come in with a pitch clock that they are using in the minors now, and they may bring it into the majors.
Yeah, I guess if they want to speed the game up, actually, you know what? As you say, the pitch clock. As I watched those, like I said, those black and white games, they were pitching pretty quickly. They never got out of the box or anything. There was like he pitched, the catcher threw it back, and the batter was waiting again for the next one. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's kind of
pitch more quickly.
Exactly, yeah. So it's kind of going back to the original style of playing, kind of.
Right.
You know, if you think about it, because that's the way they played originally. You know.
Exactly.
There was no batting gloves or anything. You know.
When you look at the times of those games, they were 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2.5 hours. Now many of them are 3.5 hours, and a lot of it is that they have slowed down and become very deliberate, and the way that they are delivering the ball, or the batter is getting into the batter's box, and the length of games has steadily increased over the decades.
And you know what I've been trying to research as we talk about that? Like, how was the pregame ceremonies to a game? Like how did they do it? Now, today, they open the ballpark 2 hours before game time. There's batting practice and all that, and you see the players working out and all that, right? I've seen in 1932 Series. I think it was a world. No, I think it was a regular game. Was it a regular game? It was a regular game, and they were paraded around with a marching band. Both teams. They went around the stadium.
Yes, I saw that.
They went around the stadium with a marching band, and they went around, and then they went to their dugouts and stuff like that, and then they worked out or whatever else they did. Can't really tell. And then somebody always throws out the first pitch from the stands. You know?
Right. Yes, I have seen old film clips of that taking place on YouTube. There are wonderful old film clips of the Yankees from many years ago. Many historians have great sites with old footage, classic old footage, and I mean not only of baseball, but you can see classic old footage of all kinds of things. New York City in the 1890s and early 1900s, and there are many great historical and old-time websites that are amazing. And I have seen that where the teams were marching in with a band. Yes.
Yeah,
I have seen that.
You know, that'll be cool to bring it back to the player, about the player. You know what I mean? And make it more like an event, like you're going to see a Broadway show or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe
exactly.
And it'll be more not about the game, but you're here to see the game. You know what I mean? More family entertainment wise, and more.
You want to add some more pomp and circumstance.
More intimacy with the player. Let's say. You know, like you want to become one with the player. Like you become like you want to own him type of thing. You know, like so. I don't know, man. Baseball really needs social media right now. You know, they really do. Yeah. They really do need social media right now because they're not getting portrayed like the other players do, like LeBron James and all these other guys. Football players too. You know.
Exactly.
Watch now when they do the Super Bowl. How great of all these promotions they do. And the tributes of videos they do and all that. They don't do that for the World Series. All they do is show the game. That's it, you know? And if your team is in the World Series, maybe they show you some stuff on their channel, but you're not gonna see that. You know, the whole world doesn't see it, but football gets to see it. Even basketball too. Basketball, when they play the championship, they got all these things going on. And they have a halftime shows, and baseball don't have none of that. I think baseball should have a halftime show.
Seventh inning show.
Yeah, why not?
But then that would really add to the time that they're there. So maybe or something. Well, sometimes. Remember when Jay-Z and they did New York State of Mind in 2009?
Yeah.
Before the World Series game. Sometimes they have bands on before, or some things going on before. They have Hall of Famers come out.
Yeah, I can say that Yankee Stadium does have bands on Fridays. They do have musical bands on Fridays. So. Yeah, but not every stadium does it. You know what I mean? There's only the Yankees. I don't know what other stadiums are doing. We would have to talk to people that live in these places to find out how it is over there. But, yeah, they do have that, but that's only if you know about it. You know what I mean? That's not performed on the field. It's performed somewhere in the back, in a cut in the bleachers somewhere. It's yeah. So, and it's not televised on television or anything. It's something private.
No.
So yeah. Imagine if they did have music before a game like that, before the World Series. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Often minor league teams do a lot of this type of thing. Where they have a fireworks show after the game. Some major league teams do it. when I was in Pittsburgh, I saw the Pittsburgh Pirates play the St. Louis Cardinals. My sister was going to Carnegie Mellon at that time, and I was in Pittsburgh visiting her, and they had a fireworks. They had fireworks after the game, and that was pretty nice. And and sometimes minor league teams will have a combination game with a concert after the game or that kind of thing. You'll find a lot of that in the minor league stadiums.
And you know something too? I think they should extend the All-Star break, and make the All-Star game 3 days instead of 2 days, because they should have a skills competition, the home run derby, and the All-Star game 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. And then they extend it, a few more days for them to get rest, and then the season to start again.
Wow. But they probably are worried about the season extending too long into the fall, with the cold weather cities.
Well, the reason why I say that is because they're already starting the season earlier. They started
right, they are.
in the later part of March now.
Do you think with the playoffs being the way they are, and with things being the way they are, that Major League Baseball should lower the amount of games per season back down to 154?
Oh, hell no. No way. Then how are they going to make money? That
right,
wouldn't work.
Right, that's it. The owners don't want that. They'd be losing revenue.
Yeah, because right now there's 80 home games, right? 80 home games?
Right, 81, yeah.
Yeah, so imagine it would go down to how many home games if they would go back to the
76.
76 home games.
Yeah, 76.
Yeah, they
76.
they're gonna lose out on money. And you know how much a ticket is gonna be now, since those games are taken out? They're gonna raise the prices on tickets too. Oh, forget about it. It's gonna be a money maker there.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on that, because there's 2 rounds of playoffs now and all of that.
Yeah, the less amount of games, the more you have to pay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But anyway, so the latest move by the Yankees is Adam Ottavino, and the Yankees may be working on a trade for Sonny Gray, and the Yankees are looking pretty strong, and the Manny Machado thing is still in neutral, and we still don't know what's happening there. But I think we did a good podcast today and discussed a lot of things, and we'll get back together again when the Yankees make their next move.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come back with one of these generic podcasts that we can do and talk about a nice topic. So
okay, sounds good.
So yeah, definitely, man. It's been a great podcast and everything. So I guess we'll call it there, and we'll see everybody on the next one.
Okay, take care.
All right, everybody. Take care. See you soon, and remember to subscribe. See us on Spotify and YouTube and everywhere you can download a podcast and all that stuff. That's where you can find us. So until then, so long, everybody. See you.
So long.